First, I want to thank you for your email requesting that the presidential candidates give you a detailed plan for what they intend to do about global warming. And second, I want to congratulate you for going carbon neutral. My presidential campaign is also committed to go carbon neutral, and I think both of us are taking the responsible course and demonstrating that if we actually want to deal with this global warming challenge, we're going to have to be willing to take action now and not wait for later for someone else to do it. So let me talk about the specifics of what I think we need to do. First, I think we need to be very aggressive in addressing what I think is a crisis in this issue of climate change or global warming. We ought to reduce greenhouse gases by 80% by the year 2050. That's at the aggressive end of the scale, but it's completely achievable. I think we need a national cap on carbon dioxide greenhouse gas emissions. We ought to be ratcheting that cap down each year. We ought to auction off the right to emit any greenhouse gases below the cap. That auction can generate billions of dollars. That money should be used to transform the way we produce energy in America, which means a serious investment in clean, renewable, alternative sources of energy, wind, solar, biodiesel, biofuels. It means $1 billion in the development of carbon sequestration technology. It means $1 billion into Detroit or to America's automakers so that the most fuel-efficient vehicles on the planet are not being produced somewhere else. We also need to change the basis on which we produce electricity in this country in at least a couple of ways. One is commit by the year 2025 that 25% of our electricity will come from renewable sources of energy. Second, to decentralize the way the electric grid and the way we provide electricity in this country, so you just don't have big centralized power companies who make more money and get paid more when people use more electricity. And we ought to be doing simple conservation measures that are enormously important for all of us. Drive more fuel-efficient vehicles, conserve energy in your home. We ought to have smart thermostats in our homes. We ought to conserve energy in the workplace. These conservation efforts are an example of what I think the president should do, which is to ask Americans to be patriotic about something other than war. It is time for all of us to take responsibility and to take action. We need all of you to take action. You've already done it by committing to be carbon neutral in this campaign. That's one of a series of things that you and the rest of America needs to do in order to get us on the right track. If you want to read this plan instead of hearing me talk about it, you can go to johnedwards.com. We've laid out the details of this plan. I'm proud of it, and together we're going to really address this crisis of global warming.